Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for watching on my page, Heather Ruth Whole Connections. If you're in my group, the Fuller Cup, thank you for being here and being live with me. And then thank you for those of you that watch on replay. I truly, truly appreciate it. So we're here. My name is Heather Ruth. I am an intuitive connection coach, a self-care doula, as some might call me. And I really, really believe in the journey of grounding in and returning home to ourselves to be whole and happy and a feeling of contentment and peace. And I realized I had not put my microphones in this morning or my headphones. Anyhow, thank you for being here and thank you for being so amazing. And I hope that you heard the first part of my talk. But again, I am Heather Ruth. I'm an intuitive connection coach, a self-care doula. I lead my clients through the journey of discovering all of the pieces of themselves. And that's my word. Day 2 is really, really important to talk about. Today is grateful for shadows. And granted, we have tons of different shadows in our lives. We have the shadow that the sun casts on the ground, and that's a lot of fun. You look tall, you look skinny, you can make funny shapes out of it, and that's a beautiful place to be and play. I loved doing puppet shadows with my kids, with the daycare kids, and having them learn how to contort their hands to make funny shapes and sizes. So shadows are fun for that. But one of the things that I was really talking about in that is that shadow, what I mean by that is our shadow selves, our darker selves. Why should we be grateful for these pieces? When we can be grateful that these pieces show up in our lives, we are not only recognizing the things that we've either been denying on ourselves, the desires that we have been pushing down, the pieces that we're not accepting of ourselves, the things that we just don't always fully love. These are really, really important pieces within our personal growth and expansion and development, especially with our spiritual journey that most of us are on. I think it's more spiritual when we're journeying as an adult. But these shadow sides, they show us pieces of ourselves that we just really haven't been giving enough love and attention to. And they're also the things, the negative thoughts, the negative human emotions that we experience. They're the things that also keep us stuck, the things that keep us in the place that we're at. And the reason why we stay in these places is because we keep denying their fortitude or their presence or even the power that they hold on us. And when we shove them aside, when we try to bury them deep, they do all of their might to get free. And I was reading an article by Scott Jeffrey last night, and he was basically saying that, you never have a moment where something comes out and you're like, I didn't mean for that to come out, or you do an action that's completely like something that you would not have done maybe in the past. Well, these are actually I got all these emails coming in, which is hilarious. Sorry. Let me regroup. These negative emotions, these triggers, are happening to make us aware of the pieces that we're not loving enough, the pieces that we're not grateful that we have, the things that maybe we didn't really love about ourselves. And I was trying to figure out, okay, well, what are some of the shadow sides of myself that I didn't love? And one of the things that I wasn't really loving was, and things were triggering me, was little tiny like white lies. And why was that? Well, that was because when I was growing up, I used to do white lies. So I've forgiven myself for that. I've forgiven myself and I've worked hard at forgiving myself for doing or sharing some white lies that maybe in the moment helped me, but in the end came back to bite me in the ass, right? Because I wasn't truthful with somebody in my past or something, and then the confrontation then subsudes. And so now I have to forgive that piece of myself. I have to forgive that I ever acted in that way. It's the same with integrity. Why wasn't people, if people are like what seems to be out of integrity, maybe it was not that they were out of their own integrity, but then I was actually denying the fact that I felt like I was operating out of integrity. And these it was producing negative emotions for myself. And so once again, we fall back into that habit of either denying or looking at it so that we can ignite the fire, so that we can rise to be stronger. My whole mission in this world is so that we're not passing down these things to our kids, so that generations and generations aren't having to do this healing work that we are all doing in my generation. And it's literally because the world is changing. And so therefore, we are now discovering parts of ourselves that we've been denying. So this is why I'm grateful for shadows, because they really truly give us the insight that we've been looking for when we're trying to discover who we are, what lights us up, what are we doing in the world, what's the passion, what's the desire, what's all the thing, oh my God, here we go, let's go faster, right? It's really about understanding who we are, grounding back to self, knowing that we have all the power, knowing that we have all the answers within us, that we can actually solve, and that the outside world is there in support, but not to make the decisions for us, not to define who we are, not to show us our worth. We have to find that within. And our shadow sides actually show us the deeper, darker pieces of ourselves that we're not embracing. And when we learn to embrace them, we can become stronger. We're more fortified. We're just have more resilience build up. So don't be afraid to look at these. Don't be afraid to be grateful for them. And don't be afraid to recognize these resistant pieces, these triggers, these negative emotions, these habits. And I literally just wrote in my journal this morning, shadow work is so important to ground us back to our truest self and ignite the fire within so we can rise, so that we can be bigger, so that we can be stronger for those around us. This is what this work's all about. And so this is why I'm grateful. So I'm grateful that you are here. I'm grateful that you are here to listen. I hope that this helps you. If you want to dive deeper into the shadow work, I invite you to open the conversation. I have time in my calendar. I'm opening up 2 new spots this coming month for one-on-one work with me, which usually lasts about 6 months, and to explore all the pieces of ourselves so that we can ground back and be connected and more whole. Thank you. Love you.